Your account managers don't care if your clients churn. And before you get all defensive, I want you to hear me out because this is not a shot at your team. It's a systems problem. And you, my friend, built the systems. Most agency owners are going to sit there and they're going to wonder why their retention is garbage, why clients are leaving after 4 months, why account managers seem checked out. And the answer, I'm telling you, it's sitting right there in front of you, and it has to do with the compensation structure that nobody talks about. And so today I'm going to break down exactly how most agencies are paying their account managers and why that model is structurally broken, and what we switched at Carbon Box Media that flipped that behavior overnight and literally 3x'd our LTV. Hi, my name's Jordan. I've grown my own agency to a team of 65. We do multiple 7 figures every single year. I've hired a CEO, a COO, a CFO, and my agency runs completely without me. And I help other agencies build their agencies into assets that run without them. So if this is interesting, you're an agency owner, the link in the description is my Instagram. Feel free to DM me. I'm happy to answer any questions. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, then let's talk about it. If you were to walk into any agency right now and ask how the account managers get paid, you're probably going to hear the same version of the same answer. Base salary or per account basis, maybe a small kicker or bonus when a new client signs. And I get it, those are good. In theory, that makes sense, but you're incentivizing for the wrong thing. And I am all for incentivizing and overpaying my team. I think it's vitally important to treat your team right so that they're always delivering the best service possible. But all of your incentives should be based on what you're optimizing for and what your account manager's one metric of truth should be. What is that one KPI that shows me that they're doing a good job? It's not scaling their ad account, even though that's vitally important. It's not finish this MVP by week 2 if you're doing some AI build out. My account managers, one metric of success is keeping the client on for as long as possible. That's it. Obviously, scaling their account is super important. Building out MVPs, setting up their go high level, whatever your service is obviously part of the job and important to keep your clients happy. But we've all had clients that we've gotten insane results for that have completely churned out of the blue for no reason. And if you are paying a bonus to your delivery team for anything else other than increasing LTV, there is zero financial upside for keeping that client happy that they're working with and being proactive. And I'm just being real with you. The whole model's backwards. And if you're paying people for acquisition adjacent behavior and then crossing your fingers that they care about retention on their own professionalism or pride or whatever, like, dude, you're missing the point. And some of them do, obviously. Your best ones will, but you cannot build a retention culture on the hope that people just are intrinsically motivated with no financial signal attached to LTV of clients. And so here's what's actually happening in your agency right now. And I'm assuming this, but I talk to a lot of agency owners. Your account managers have a book of accounts. Okay. Some of those accounts are happy. Some of them are on track and some of them are at risk, and they know which ones are at risk, but their comp does not change either way. There's no urgency to fix those at-risk clients. And then one day the client emails to cancel and it turns into this giant fire drill instead of this preemptive conversation. And you have no one to blame but yourself. And you design that outcome. And I'm more so talking to an old version of myself right now than I am yelling at you. But if the shoe fits, brother, then I am yelling at you a little bit with love, of course. So before I get into the fix, I want to put a number on why this matters. If you're at 20K, 50K, 100K a month, 200K a month, it really doesn't matter. But let's just say your average client stays for 8 months. Your business is going to look a certain way. But if you can extend that 8 months to 12 months without signing a single new client, your revenue trajectory changes overnight completely. Same acquisition cost, same team, just way more revenue. Retention is the highest leverage variable in an agency's economics, and most owners are treating it like a support function instead of a growth lever. And when I talk about this with people inside Agency Asset, which is my one-on-one coaching program, one of the first things I do is have them calculate what a 1 to 3 month improvement on average client lifespan is worth. And for most of them, it's a significant number. Sometimes it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then I ask them, what are they doing to optimize for that number of retention in LTV? And the answer is usually like, well, I pay them more based on how many accounts they manage. Or if they scale X account to Y, I'll give them Z bonus. And again, your heart's in the right place with that. But there's an even better way to structure your bonuses that is more in line with LTV, which again is the one KPI that you need to optimize for. So here's what we do instead. And it's simple enough that you could implement this literally this week. So every 3 months that a client does not churn, our account manager that is owning that account gets a bonus. Not a one-time bonus, but a recurring bonus. Every 90 days, the client is still active. Again, that account manager gets a bonus. And the math can look however you want. I'll tell you how we do it, but your margins are going to be different than ours. But what we give our account manager is a $500 bonus per client they keep happy for 90 days. They have 10 accounts. Then every quarter, they're getting a $5,000 bonus if they keep them for an additional 90 days. If they keep them for 12 months, that's an additional $20,000 a year in their bank account. I mean, talk about an incentive. Look, obviously, this has to make sense with your numbers. I'm not inside your agency. I don't know what your margins are, but the structure is what matters. You're signaling to your account manager, the longer you keep this client happy, the more you're going to make. Your income is literally a function of your retention rate, period. And not only that, but if you notice that the account manager is not getting a ton of bonuses, then that's a signal that it may be time for you to talk to that account manager, if not let that account manager go. And I want you guys to start treating your agency like you're the manager of a sports team where the top 10% make the most money, the bottom 10% get cut, and the other 80% are fighting to stay on the pitch, on the court, whatever team or sport you like, right? But treat this like a manager, okay? And what changes when you do this is first, your account managers stopping order takers. When someone's comp is tied to whether a client is still there 90 days later, they start acting like they own the relationship. They're not waiting for the client to raise a problem. They are in the account. They're on Zoom. They're sending the check-in before the client has a chance to feel neglected. You'd be shocked. Second, you get early warning signs of at-risk clients because your account managers are tracking the client's vibes in a way a salesperson would track pipeline. They know which accounts are healthy, which ones are at risk, and they bring that information to you instead of hoping it sorts itself all out. Something else that's going to happen. Yes, your accounts are going to be proactive with your clients that are at risk, but they're also going to be proactive with clients that are healthy. And if you have this client feedback loop, that you can reach out to these clients that are healthy, it's the perfect time for you to probably ask for a video testimonial. If your account managers are crushing it for a specific client, you have the negative feedback loop, which helps you negate churn. You have the positive feedback loop, which helps you gain more testimonials, which does what? Helps you sign more clients. And third, you stop having the awkward situation where your account manager is emotionally checked out on a long-standing client, which happens all the time because there's just no reward for maintaining that relationship past the onboarding, or what I like to call the honeymoon period. The quarterly bonus creates a reoccurring reason for them to stay engaged. And I know what some of you are thinking. Well, what if the client churns for a reason outside of the account manager's control? Absolutely. That's totally fair, brother. This definitely happens. A client's business could fail. Their budget could get cut. We were working with a client, scaling their ad account. It was a super awesome account. And we just found out that the owner was $300,000 in personal debt. Like, there's always a reason for churn that is out of your control. That's just part of the game. And there's really not a lot of stuff you can do about this. However, with this incentive structure that you've now built, your account manager is going to come to you with solutions on how to keep the account. This could be building a free landing page, lowering your service fee for the upcoming month, just to keep them for an additional 3 months, which is 3 months of extra revenue. The point here is that your account managers are now looking for a solution to keep them instead of blaming XYZ or like, oh, the account just doesn't work. Well, dude, if you were the owner, what would you do to get the account to work? Like, your account managers need to take this owner mindset of the accounts that they're managing. And again, the best way for them to have that owner mindset is for them to have their compensation structure tied to retention. But Jordan, what if the account manager keeps a bad fit client just to protect their bonus? This one I actually love because it exposes a different problem. If your account manager is willing to maintain a relationship with a toxic client who should have been offboarded 3 months ago just to protect a quarterly check, you either have a client that you should have cut months ago or an account manager with bad judgment. And either way, that's a management conversation, not a comp structure failure. Firing your shitty clients oftentimes is going to make you 4x the money. Your account manager can normally take on 10 clients, but this one shithead client is the same work as 3 clients. Well then, dude, if you let go of that client and then fill the account manager with 3 really good clients, well then both of you just made more money. But Jordan, can I actually afford this? Yes, absolutely. A retained client is more money going into your bank account. The bonus is a fraction of the LTV you're protecting. If an account manager makes an extra $500 a quarter and keeps a $5,000 a month client for 2 more quarters, dude, do the math and tell me how that does not make sense. So how you can roll this out. Start with your existing book of clients. Go to every account manager and show them the new structure. And be careful not to word this as a penalty. Word it as an upside that they didn't have before. Frame it correctly, that you are adding earning potential, not rearranging the base comp. It's like, look at how much more money you could make if you just keep your clients on longer. And then from there, set the 90-day cadence. A client who's been active for 90 days from their start date is going to trigger that first bonus. And then again in 180 days, 270 days, and so on. And you could do this quarterly on the calendar, so it's just cleaner operationally. But track it. Have a Google sheet. This sounds obvious, but you need to make it visible. Put it on a dashboard. Have a scorecard. You want to have everybody on a dashboard so they can see who's quote unquote like winning the account retention game. But this is going to make your account managers be able to see their retention bonus pipeline the same way that a salesperson sees their commission pipeline. This visibility, I'm telling you, it changes the behavior on its own. And if you pair it with a check-in system and a client health dashboard, man, I'm telling you, your LTV is going to skyrocket. So here's the bottom line. Retention is not a culture problem in your agency. It's a comp structure problem. Culture follows incentives. If you want account managers who behave like owners of their book of business, you have to give them a financial stake in the outcome. The agencies that are winning on retention right now are not winning because they hired better people. They built a system that let the good people that they already have respond to it. That's the difference. So if you're an agency owner doing between $15K to $200K a month, and you want to have a conversation of what this could look like, that's exactly why I have my one-on-one coaching. Whether you work with me or not, by the way, just do this. Just do this. I promise you your LTV is going to go up. Thanks for watching the video. Check me out on Instagram. Shoot me a message. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I'll catch you on the next video.